Hello, welcome back to another video. Now, if you've been following the series already, you might know that things haven't exactly been going according to plan for me during WCOOP this year. Now, today we're coming at it again and I'm going slightly different plan today. I have late regged into the Progressive KO event number 32. Already got a couple of bounties when we're joining this tournament. So let's have a go. Let's see if this one can be the one to take us all the way. Under the gun opens and action folds around to me on the button. With King Jack offsuit, I think I could raise, but against early action, a call's probably good too. Now the small blind comes along for the ride and I cover both players. We see the flop and it's a good one, King 3-2. The blinds both check it to me and I'm happy to build a pot. I make a bet and make it a bit bigger than I usually would, 3/4 pot. I'm hoping to get the small blind all in so I can try and have a go at his bounty. It doesn't work though because he folds and it's back to the under the gun player. Now they make a call, leaving themselves about a pot size bet behind. So the turn is the 4 of spades, so ace 5 and 5-6 get there, but they're both pretty unlikely for under the gun. So when he checks again, I think the easy decision here is to put him all in. I don't want to see a 5 on the river or a heart, so let's make him pay for it if he wants to catch one. He does make the call and he shows pocket 10s. Yeah, it's a hard one to fold with only one overcard out there, but probably not impossible. I'm happy though that the river is a blank and I take the pot and the bounty. 25 minutes until we play again and I'm opening from the cutoff with ace queen off suit. Now the button calls and then the small blind, who's got about 20 bigs, he shoves all in. So it's back to me and I don't really like it because I figure that most of the time that they're doing this they've either got a huge ace or some sort of pair. But ace queen might be too big of a hand to fold, especially because the small blind's got a nice bounty on him and I want it. Now I don't want to be going 3 ways to the flop though, so I isolate and shove all in too. The button gets out of there and we see that we're up against pocket 9s. It's a fair flip. The flop gives me a couple extra outs with a gut shot, but the turn and the river aren't kind to me and I end up losing a big chunk of change. Now it's never nice not to win a flip, but I can't really see how I could have played that any differently. Just a couple of hands later I get another decent hand. I open pocket 10s from the low jack and get 2 callers. Now the flop is ace queen 3 with 2 spades, a bit of a disaster for pocket 10s really. The small blind checks it to me and I think as the aggressor a C bet's the standard play here, so that's what I do. I've got so many aces in my range that I can get a lot of hands to fold right here. The cutoff does fold, but the small blind wants to stick around for a bit and he makes the call. Now the turn's a brick, it's a 6 of clubs. When the small blind checks again, I've got a decision to make. Now if he's floated with a queen or a flush draw, another bet here might get him to fold, but not much is going to get him to fold an ace seeing as he's got a monster stack. Checking back here though is basically giving up on the pot and I don't want to do that, so I do bet again and this time I size up. Any sort of resistance from him here though, I'm running a mile. Luckily there isn't any, he folds and I claw a few chips back after losing that flip. Not long after, I'm in the big blind with 7-6 off suit. The button opens the pot and I am not defending a connected hand like this, so I make the call. Now the flop is a big blind's dream in this situation. I've got top pair and a gut shot on 7-4-3. It's screaming check raise to me and that's exactly what I do after the button makes his expected Steve bet. I raise him to 9 bigs and he makes the call. Now the turn is another card that I'm not particularly worried about, the 9 of spades. I decide not to lead here because I think that I can call a bet, but perhaps not a big raise, so I want to keep it all manageable. He checks back and the river's the 8 of spades. So 10 jack gets there as well as a load of king 9s, 10 9s, 10 jacks, ace 8s, all sorts. So with some showdown value, I check praying for a check back. That's exactly what happens. I get another win. Lines feel like they're going up fast and I'm sitting on about 32 bigs when the under the gun opens. I make a speculative call from the low jack with 9 jack of diamonds. Not ideal and a bit loose, but it could flop well if I get lucky, so let's have a look. Now we end up going 4 ways to the flop and it's not great, but it could be worse. The razor checks and actions on me. With second pair, I don't want to inflate the pot, so I check behind. Action checks all the way round. Now the turn's a total brick, and this time Under the Gun puts in a delayed c-bet of half pot. Second pair could easily be good here, so I make the call and want to see what happens. Now the other players fold, so it's just the two of us seeing the river. A little old five of diamonds, again not scary. This time Under the Gun shoves all in for his remaining 15 bigs. I've got him covered and he's got a nice looking bounty. With second pair I could be ahead of a lot of draws that missed, or any two overcards that are just having a bluff. I don't love it, but after thinking for a bit, the greed for the bounty gets the better of me and I make the call. Now he turns over one of the hands I thought he might have had, a flush draw. Unfortunately though, he's got the 10 of hearts for top pair and I am left with just a handful of chips. I hadn't realised how close we really were to the bubble in that last hand. Now if I'd been paying attention I might have made a different decision, but it is what it is. The bubble's now burst and I'm in the cutoff with ace king offsuit. Under the Gun opens the pot and action folds round to me. I've only got one move here and I shove it all in. I say all in, I'm not really sure why I leave half a big blind behind, but it must have made some sort of sense to me at the time. I don't really like the cold snap call from the button, but I guess I want some action with a big hand, so I'll take it. Under the Gun folds, so I'm heads up to the flop with my tournament life at risk. The button shows Jack 9 off. Very wide call if you ask me, but he's obviously bounty hunting with his big stack. It's never simple, is it? The flop gives him a gut shot, so he's now looking for any Jack 10 or 9. The turn's clean and the river pairs the board, so I double with ace high. I'll take that. So it's just a couple of hands later and I've got big slick again. Under the Gun opens, it's the same player as the last hand, but this time I don't get to make the shove because the hijack beats me to it. It's not like I'm folding here though for 20 bigs. I snap call the hijack and the Under the Gun calls too. Wow, this is now a big old pot. The cards are flipped and I'm up against Queen Jack suited and Ace Queen off. I'm ahead. Now the board is played out quickly, flop is clean, turn is clean, and the river helps no one. I've won again with ace high, tripled up, and I take another bounty. Now that's a result. So over the next few hands, the blinds go up and I lose a couple of little pots with pocket threes and some rubbish I defended on the big blind. Now I'm in the big blind again and looking at a raise from Under the Gun and a call from the small blind. I've got 8-7 suited and I'm defending this all day. The flop is ace queen 9 with 2 spades, so I've got a flush draw and backdoor straight draws. So when Under the Gun c-bets and the small blind calls, I'm priced in and make the call too. Now the turn is the Jack of spades, I get there straight away. Yeah, I could be up against a bigger flush, but with a redraw to a straight flush, I'm not going anywhere. I don't have to worry though, because again, the action checks around. Now the river is blank. I check again, hoping Under the Gun's going to put in a bet, but he checks it back. I win the pot, but probably missed out on value there. Back to 50 big blinds though, so it is moving in the right direction. Now we're 10 minutes into the next hour and I've got the monster killer in the hijack. The low jack opens and I'd be mad not to play here. I make the call and the small blind and the big blind call too. Unbelievably, I don't hit the flop with this legendary hand. Queen 9-6 with 2 hearts. Yeah, there's a few backdoor draws available. How often do they really come in? I figure I'm done with this hand. Somehow action checks all the way round. Okay, I'll see a turn card for free. I'm not shy. Now, I don't think I could have asked for a better one either. The 2 of spades gives me hope of those rare backdoor draws actually having a chance. The big blind now decides he wants to take a stab at it, just over half pot. The low jack calls. I'm getting a great price to hit, so I make the call too. We're going 3 ways to a river, which is a 3. I've hit the miracle runner for the straight, but it is a heart, so the front door flush gets there. Both players check to me and I've got a decision. Now I don't think either player would check if they have made the flush. They'd want to try and get paid, so I probably have the effective nuts. It's an obvious value bet for me here once again. Maybe 20 big blinds, something like that. But no, I chicken out again and check it down because I don't want to get check raised on the river. I'm pretty sure now that that's a terrible play and I'm missing out on value. It really isn't. No wonder I don't actually win anything. Now, there's really not a huge amount to say on this one, but I'm going to chuck it in anyway. It just felt like at every point throughout the hand that I was getting a great price to call, so that's what I do. The pot odds are just too tasty to say no to. It ends up working out. I've no idea what he had, but I will take the small win. So things are going well enough, I suppose. I'm not playing the best, but I'm still in it and I've got chips to play with. In this hand then, the low jack opens and the high jack calls. I'm in the cutoff and I've got a monster hand, pocket rockets. Think I can bet here and it might look a little bit like a squeeze, so I raise it up and I'm praying for some action. The low jack folds, but the high jack, he comes along for the ride. Now the flop is jack 10-8 with 2 hearts. It's pretty connected, so I might need to move forward with a bit of caution here. Action is on the high jack and I'm expecting him to check to the aggressor. But he has a little think and decides on a different plan of attack. He bets, and he bets big, huge in fact. He overbets the pot and puts me all in for the best part of 34 bigs. Now wow, I did not see that coming. What the hell do I do here? I don't like it. At the same time, what could he really have? Queen 9's possible, I guess, but I've got to be so unlucky to come up against that here. So we could have a set or 2 pair, but it seems like he'd be more likely to want to let me bet at it first with such a strong hand. So maybe he's got something like ace jack, he doesn't want to see a turn. That's fine, I beat that one. King queen or some sort of combo draw. Yeah, possible, but again, I'm ahead of all of those too. It just feels like any hands that are beating me right now wouldn't play it like this, so I've got to be ahead. I have a think and I end up making the call. He's got a monster sack, so he could just be trying to bully me. Now, the cards are flipped and he shows pocket 9s. I am ahead, but with his open-ended draw, I'm not as far ahead as I'd like. I just need to fade a... right, of course. 7 on the turn, gives him the winner straight away, not even a sweat. What a joke. Well. That last hand was brutal. We got a profit today. That's a plus, I guess. That's a bonus. That's good. But I don't think I did anything horrendous today. Yes, I definitely missed out on some of the value bets on the river, for sure. I was trying to play sensible, I was trying to play conservatively, and then just to go out with that hand like that, it hurts. But positive, it's money coming back to me rather than going to other people for a change, so we'll take it. The good run's coming, I can feel it, it's gonna get there. So please like and subscribe if these videos, you're enjoying them, and next time could be the one.